Hari Om, Bhagavad Gita, Moksha Sannyasa Yoga, chapter 18, verse 58. Bhagwan Krishna in the last verse said, mentally renounce all activities to me. Have me as the highest goal of life. Resort to Buddhi Yoga, that is yoga of discrimination. Always fix me in your mind and act in this world. This is what Bhagwan Krishna said in verse 57. Now verse 58. Macchitta sarva durgani mat prasadat tarishyasi adachetvam ahankaran nashosyasi vinangsyasi. Swami Dayananda Saraswati says, here the word Durga, it means any obstacle that is very difficult to cross. Carefully note, the word here is not Dukkha but Durga. So, Durga means it is an obstacle. If you go to Badrinath, for an example, suddenly a rock may fall on the road and block the entire road for many days. People will get stranded. The pilgrims will get stranded. That is Durga. Obstacle. So they will call the bulldozers, others. Then on a war footing, work will happen so that the block is removed. That is Durga, obstacle. Adi Shankara says, the obstacles are the karmas, which are the causes for papa or punya, resulting in new births. You are born because of what? Because of your own karma. Janma after janma, we are born because of the karmas. And thus, the karmas become the cause for samsara. They are born of the sense of agency or ego. The sense of agency is born out of ignorance or avidya. By practice of karma yoga, one can cross these difficulties. What will happen if one does not listen to the teaching of Bhagwan Krishna? That is the question. Sir, you go on saying so many things. Oh, I don't have time. I will not follow it. Bhagwan Krishna says, because of your agankara, that is ego, if you think you know everything and you are going to take charge of everything, that is, if you are not going to heed to my advice, M capital, Y capital, then the result is vinangsyasi. That is, you will destroy yourself. You cannot accomplish what you want in life. Arjuna, in the beginning, he said he wanted to attain Shreyas. He wanted to become a overnight sannyasi. Bhagavan cautioned him, instant coffee may be possible, but not instant sannyasi. If you instantly, overnight, become a sannyasi, then you are neither here nor there. You can neither lead a life of sannyasi nor lead the life of a karma yogi. You will get completely perished by confusing yourself. Shreyas in this way cannot be achieved. Bhagwan Krishna tells Arjuna that even though his duty is unpleasant, your duty is unpleasant, I accept, but you cannot give up. You have to do your duty, however unpleasant it is. Why? Because Bhagavan Krishna says, your nature, Arjuna, it will not permit you to remain quiet for a long time. One day somebody on the road will call you eunuch. He's a eunuch. Enjoyed the powerful post of army chief. Suddenly ran away from the war when he saw the Gaurava soldiers. He's a complete eunuch. At that time, even an ordinary fellow on the road will get angry. So you remained as a king. Naturally, your inner nature will come out. You will boil with anger. You will, what you wanted to avoid, fight. You will be fighting on the road. You cannot remain quiet like a sannyasi. Bhagwan Krishna warns Arjuna, any day your nature will come out. Unless you practice karma yoga and exhaust your existing vasanas, then your mind will become calm and quiet in all situations. At that time, you can take to sannyasa. That is why Bhagavan says, do karma yoga. Swami Chinmayananda says, Bhagavan Krishna in the last verse said, by your thoughts, renounce all activities in me. In all activities, be conscious that without the presence of Bhagavan, no action is ever possible. Make your intellect aware of this fact in all your actions. Gradually, the mind, body will begin to work under the command of such an inspired intellect. Why should I remember Bhagavan always in all my activities? What is the use? Why should I do it? I have been given my ego. I am born with ego. Why should I remember Bhagavan always? Bhagavan Krishna smiles and says, the one who remembers me or keeps me in his mind in all his activities, he will cross over all the difficulties of his life by my grace. Again, a promise. Bhagavan is going on giving promises. This is one of the promises. By my grace, you will cross all the difficulties of life. That is what Bhagavan says here. If we analyze our life, Swami Chinmayananda says, if you analyze your life, if I analyze my life, most of our difficulties in life are imaginary, created by false fears and deceitful anxieties of our own confused mind. 100% true as far as my life is concerned. Most of the difficulties in my life are imaginary only. I feared so many things. So all these are because of the confused mind. Swami Chinmayananda says, here the word grace means the result accrued in our mind when it is properly tuned up and peacefully settled in contemplation upon the infinite. So if you want to contemplate on the infinite, Bhagavan Krishna, your mind must be calm and quiet. Agitated mind cannot concentrate on anything. Guaranteed. So first condition is your mind must be calm and quiet. That is the grace that will be given by Bhagavan. It does not mean some special consideration shown by Bhagavan to some select few persons of his own choice. The grace of all pervading is present everywhere to all, like a sunlight. Swami Chinmayananda says, just as the sunlight cannot illumine a room as long as the windows are closed, the harmony and joy of life of the infinite cannot penetrate into our life as long as the windows of discrimination in us are tightly closed. To the extent the windows are open, to that extent the room will be blessed with light. Similarly, to the extent a seeker pursues his sadhana, keeping Bhagwan Krishna in his mind, to that extent his grace will be showered on that person. The next question that automatically comes: what if I don't follow his teaching? So these are all people have made this to earn money. So if I don't follow his teaching, what will happen to me? If I disobey the law, then what? Bhagavan Krishna gives a clear warning here, a caution. Natural laws are perfect and irrevocable. They just give joy to the person who obeys it and punishes a person who does not obey it. There is no discrimination, no country, no race, no religion, no caste, no language, nothing. Natural law, one must obey. Whoever it is, if he is not obeying, he will be severely punished. Swami Chinmayananda says, it is not a threat hurled down by mankind, by Bhagavan Krishna upon mankind. Bhagavan Krishna is not a tyrannical power to frighten the human beings into obedience. You follow, otherwise I will. No. This is not comparable to the threat of hell held out in other religions. In other religions, it is there. If you don't follow, you will be sent to hell. You will be roasted in the oil. That kind of threat, it is not that kind of threat. It is a mere statement of fact. Swami Chinmayananda gives the following example. Even if Newton were to jump from fifth floor of his, from the balcony of his house, nature's law, that is gravitational force, will definitely act upon him. Mostly he will die. Even if he is Newton. No exception. You are Newton, you are such a wonderful scientist, so I will not. No. He will die. Or at least the maximum parts will be broken. That is inevitable. It is like a father telling his son, hey, study well. Otherwise, we will become a porter in the railway station and lifting the luggage of so many people. It is not demeaning the life of a porter, but the difficulties one has to face if he has not studied well. So, it is a clear-cut warning. Bhagavan Krishna is giving a warning, caution board. If you don't heed to my advice, result is obvious. You will perish. Man is free to choose freedom or bondage. Always a choice is given. It is your own choice. The path of freedom is already clearly explained by Bhagavan Krishna. It is a sincere statement. Bhagavan is only showing great anxiety by not mincing words, but clearly stating the truth. It is a word of caution. If you don't heed to my advice, you will perish. It is a word of caution. The one who breaches the laws that govern the truth, he must pay the price. Truth is unalterable. Its punitive laws will spare none. Whoever violates it. Swami Chinmayananda says, guidance to true way of life always comes from within. Within. But man's ego and egocentric desires force him to disobey that voice from within. He pursues a life of base vulgarity. Man always pursues a life of base vulgarity, seeking sense pleasures in the outer world, which brings him down to be punished by his own uncontrolled emotions. Hence, Bhagavan Krishna warns, if you don't follow my advice, you will perish. Because nature's law. I cannot help you. That is what Bhagwan Krishna says. My view, I generally I avoid giving. When I say my, you should not take it as the egoistic view. When acharyas or gurus are given their opinion or explanation, it is always final and binding. But throughout Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan Krishna says, Arjuna, think. Arjuna, think. Don't keep your mind in the freezer and accept whatever I say. Arjuna is also not accepting whatever Bhagavan is saying. He's questioning. So similarly, some thought came to my mind. I want to share it. This can be rejected, ignored completely. But still I want to share. Several times we have seen that Bhagavan Krishna and law of dharma are not two different things. If you say I am a devotee of Bhagavan Krishna, but I don't follow the dharma given by Bhagavan Krishna, then I am sorry to say, you are a complete failure. You have misunderstood Bhagavan Krishna. Bhagavan Krishna and dharma are not two different things. They are one and the same. Rama and dharma, Bhagavan Krishna and dharma, they are one and the same. Now, apply this principle to verses 57 and 58. Bhagavan in 57 says, Chetasa sarva karmani mai sanyasya matparaha. Bhagavan says, surrender all your actions to me. That is, whether it is by body, mind and intellect. In my view, do all your duties, whether it is by body, mind or intellect, in tune with dharma. For this person, Bhagavan says, dharma is the path and dharma is the goal. Matparaha. I am the goal. Dharma is the goal. Dharma is the path. Buddhi yogam upashitya. We have already seen the function of buddhi is discrimination. When you do secular karmas, discriminate between whether the action is tuned with dharma or against dharma. Suppose you are a government officer. Somebody wants to corrupt you. Naturally, it is not in tune with dharma. Nobody needs to tell you. You know. Otherwise, why you are taking it in cash and carrying it and keeping it in your godown? If it is a honest money, you will take it and keep it in your bureau. If not in tune with dharma, reject that action. If it is in tune with dharma, even if you don't like it, you may not like that, but do it. Do that action. Mind is generally like a baby. If you say don't do, it will do. It will definitely, the baby always, if you say don't do that, don't put that there, it will go and keep it. So mind has a tendency to break the law, to break the dharma. It will always go towards the lower. Nature of mind, like a frog towards water, mind will go towards the lower only. By using your discriminatory intellect, buddhi yoga, one has to guide the mind and do actions in tune with dharma. If it is spiritual, then move one step ahead. These are secular karmas and spiritual karmas. Move one step ahead. Discriminate between sat and asat, even in secular karmas. Discriminate between sat and asat. Reject all actions that leads to sensual pleasures. Asat, temporary, ephemeral. Hold on to sat. That is Bhagwan Krishna. That is the dharma one has to follow. Machitta sadatam bhava. Keep me always in your mind. Keep me here means What I personally feel is not Bhagwan Krishna. But keep the dharma in your mind always. Whether it is secular or spiritual, whatever you do, whether it is by body, mind, or intellect, the dharma should always be in your mind. That means you are not moving away even an inch from Bhagwan Krishna. 24 into 7, you are following dharma. Whatever be the action carried out by you, whether it is body, mind, or intellect, you are always keeping Bhagwan Krishna, that is dharma, in your mind. When you are always in tune with dharma, that means you are always with Bhagwan Krishna only. Why one should do all his actions in tune with dharma? Then what happens? Verse 58 answers. Macchitta sarva durgani mat prasada tarishyasi. The Sanskrit saying is Dharmo rakshati rakshitaha. Dharma protects those who protect dharma. These are all statements of truth. They are not bothered. 100% this, it is a truth. Dharmo rakshati rakshitaha. Dharma can be protected. How? Dharma is nothing. Is there somebody like your baby or wife? With somebody you will fight. No. Dharma can be protected by strictly following dharma and not by any other means. Hence, the one who follows dharma, he will be protecting dharma. The one who protects dharma, saying is dharma rakshati rakshitaha. So it will stand like a rock to protect that person throughout his life. The one who has not done any mistake in life, why should he be afraid of anyone? Even if he gets into trouble, it is not that trouble, Bhagavan says, no trouble will come to you. Trouble will come. That is life. It is like waves. It will come one after the other. But dharma will surely protect that person. It is 100%. If you are on the wrong side of secular laws, for example, you will be punished. Sometimes you may escape from the secular laws by twisting the arms or by greasing the palms. But nature's laws cannot be corrupted. No one can go and twist the arms of nature or grease its palms. If you violate nature's law, 100% you will be punished. We have already seen the example of Newton. If he jumps from 5th floor, he has to suffer. Hence, here Bhagavan says, follow the dharma scrupulously. Keep aside your opinions. If you follow the dharma, dharma will protect you. Arjuna, you follow your dharma now. In this way, why I am saying this is, in this way, one need not have to be physically present in any work and mentally absent. If I do something, then if I think about Bhagwan Krishna, my mind goes somewhere, my hands are working here. These two are two different actions. Physically present, mentally absent. But by doing the karma in tune with dharma, you are physically and mentally present in the same work. Sometimes the results could be negative, maybe negative. But if I am in tune with dharma, whether the results are positive or negative, I am the least bothered about that. What I get is absolute peace of mind. Shanti. I did what I have to do in tune with the dharma. So I did not compromise on my values. That is the question of agitation to my mind. That is the prasada. That is what Bhagavan Krishna says, Mat chitta sarva durgani mat prasadat tarishyasi. Even if there are some obstacles, Automatically, if you are in tune with Dharma, everything, all the obstacles will get automatically removed by the grace of Dharma. Because if you are following the law, you are obedient to the law. If you are obedient to the law, how can the government punish you? Impossible. Only if you are a violator of the law can be punished, not one who is obedient to the law. That is what I feel. Verse 58 again.
मच्चित्तः सर्वदुर्गाणि मत्प्रसादत्तरिष्यसि अदचेत्त्वमहङ्कारान् न शोष्यसि विनङ्क्ष्यसि.
The views of Swami Dayananda Saraswati and Swami Chinmayananda must be accepted. I have given one more way of thinking. It may be completely wrong also. That view can be rejected. But something came to my mind I wanted to share. I didn't want to hide something, whether it is correct or wrong. I surrender it again to the feet of Bhagwan Krishna. Next verse we will see tomorrow. Harihom Sarvam Krishnarpanamastu. Narayan 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 Narayan